Alright, everybody, we are back very soon here, alright? Way quicker than expected because we possibly have a tornado on the ground right now near Lyman, Nebraska, alright? There is currently an area that has developed rotation very intensely here, and also there looks to be a debris signature on the correlation coefficient. We see where the reds and the greens match up there, and if we go ahead and take a look at the CC, we can see that there's actually a CC drop in that exact same area, okay? So, again, this is a possible tornado on the ground. This is not confirmed. There's quite a bit of contamination over here, so it looks like there's a lot more debris than there actually is. But if you're included in this tornado warning, you should be taking cover immediately. This is a very dangerous storm, again, possibly producing a tornado currently even. Is a very impressive supercellular shape on the reflectivity, alright? If you know anything about radar, you know that that is an amazing shape for a supercell to have, alright? Very classic. You got your hook echo there, you got the little bit of inflow off to the northwest of Lyman at the minute, and if there's a tornado on the ground, it'll be located somewhere in here right now, alright? Off to the west of Lyman, Nebraska. We are currently on the Nebraska-Colorado border right now. Let's go and take a look at the correlation coefficient. Is not updated yet. But yeah, this is as of 4:19 p.m., right? This was 3 minutes ago. This is what this supercell looked like, and now it's even more impressive with an even more defined area of inflow near Lyman right now. So again, this is likely a tornado on the ground at the minute, or it is very close to being one. Again, this is a very strong and dangerous storm, and you need to be taking cover. This does include the town of Morrill. Morrill is a pretty populated town out here in western Nebraska, so if you are there, make sure that you are taking cover immediately. Again, we have a possible tornado on the ground here. Hello, TN Dry, and yeah, that's definitely a tornado on the ground now, and that's possibly a strong one, too. This is lofting a lot of debris in the atmosphere. This is, again, possibly a strong tornado on the ground near Lyman, Nebraska. And, I mean, that is a massive debris signature there. The very deep, dark blue colors indicate some very heavy debris being picked up. So, again, we have a possible tornado on the ground here, a likely tornado on the ground even. But it's hard to tell if that's just contamination, but there's definitely some sort of debris in the air there. So, again, this is most likely a tornado on the ground here. It has already been producing land spouts here. So, again, this is a very dangerous situation here. Flying debris may be dangerous or potentially even deadly to those caught without shelter. Again, we have a massive debris ball potentially off to the west of Lyman, the northwest of Lyman right now in Nebraska. Again, we are on the Nebraska-Colorado border right now. The tornado, I mean, it's right along the border. This is going to be heading off to the north and the east towards Morrill, Nebraska. Right, again, this is a very strong storm currently producing a tornado, or at least as of 4:22 p.m., which was 2 minutes ago. So, again, this is likely a tornado on the ground here, somewhere in there where the reds and the greens meet. This is still radar indicated according to the National Weather Service, but I imagine this will get upgraded very soon here, as this is almost certainly a tornado on the ground. This is for Scotts Bluff County, Sioux County, and Goshen County across Nebraska and Wyoming. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Dundee County, Nebraska, and Cheyenne County, Kansas. That's for 1-inch in diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. If you're included in that warning, make sure that you're getting indoors. We have a couple of storms up in South Dakota. Actually, it's one storm that's producing some golf bowl-sized hail right now near Hot Springs. If you're in either of those, you should be getting indoors and away from windows. Bring your cars and pets in. If you know any people outside, make sure that they are getting in, because that's a very dangerous storm. We've got another new severe thunderstorm warning even. That's going to be for Custer, Ogallacata, Fall River, and Pennington County, South Dakota. That's for that same storm I literally just mentioned. It's down to ping pong ball sized hail, but that's still very dangerous, and you should be getting indoors and away from windows there, sorry. Again, though, we're going to continue to cover our active tornado, because obviously this is by far the most dangerous storm that we have right now. Again, if we do have a tornado on the ground, which we likely do, it's going to be located right in there, right along the Colorado-Nebraska border. And yeah, this is definitely a tornado on the ground now, guys. Or most likely, anyway. I guess I can't say definitely yet, but that is almost certainly debris being picked up into the atmosphere. So this is likely a tornado on the ground. Again, if you're included in this warning, you have to be taking shelter now. This is very dangerous, and yeah, I mean, that lines up almost perfectly there with the velocity. So this is definitely a tornado on the ground now. We're going to update this to, this is a confirmed tornado. You have to be taking shelter. on the lowest floor of a building, interior room, away from windows right now. This is a very dangerous storm. This is still radar indicated according to the National Weather Service, but this is definitely a tornado on the ground. Just went through the western portion of Lyman, Nebraska. Now it's in Colorado, and it's going to get dangerously close to Torrington, which is a very big city out here. So this is going to be pretty bad, you guys. Again, this storm's actively producing a tornado. We have a large tornado on the ground, most likely, northwest of Lyman, Nebraska. It's in Colorado now, though. Again, this is a very dangerous situation, a life-threatening situation. This storm might even go PDS warned whenever the National Weather Service upgrades this to confirmed. There are numerous reports of landspouts and funnels. So one landspout, but this is definitely, like an actual supercellular tornado now. This is not a weird, landspout or anything. It's not just like a funnel cloud that touched down. This is a tornado, and we actually just got another new tornado warning. That's all the way down. Oh, shoot, dude. I just realized I've been saying Colorado the whole time. This is on the Nebraska-Wyoming border, not the Colorado-Nebraska border. That's Wyoming. And, okay, we have another. Oh, my goodness, guys. We have a confirmed damaging tornado on the ground. This is very bad. We have 2 tornadoes on the ground at once. This is a large and potentially strong tornado south of Akron, Colorado. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. That is a huge debris ball. Again, this is a confirmed large and potentially deadly tornado on the ground in to the south of Akron, Colorado. And again, we have our other one up here on the Wyoming-Nebraska border off to the northwest of Scottsbluff. This one is also very dangerous, but now I'm almost even more concerned about our other tornado. Again, this is a very dangerous part of the outbreak here. We have 2 tornadoes on the ground at once. This is very bad. It's going to get hard to cover this. Okay, guys, this is really bad. I'm updating the stream title right now. Give me just a second here. This is not good. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have multiple strong and potentially life-threatening tornadoes on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and send this stream into my buddy, Mr. Storm, and I'm actually going to call him up here and see if he's able to, communicate here. New radar scan on our Wyoming-Nebraska storm. Somehow this is still only a radar-indicated tornado, but this is definitely a tornado on the ground. That's very dangerous, you guys. I think this one shocked me more, though, because it went from nothing to observed. It wasn't even warned before it went to tornado on the ground. Hold on. I'm gonna call Mr. Storm right now, see if he can pick up. Because this is bad. Again, we've got multiple strong tornadoes on the ground, potentially life-threatening tornadoes on the ground. This is really bad. Again, this one is potentially even stronger than the other one. The one northwest of Elba, Colorado, but they're both pretty strong. These are not weak little spin-ups. These are strong supercellular tornadoes. And, yeah, I mean, this is really bad, guys. Again, I cannot emphasize enough, if you're under either of these tornado warnings, you have to be taking cover now. These storms are both actively producing strong tornadoes. New correlation coefficient scan here. And it's hard to tell which one of these is actually the debris ball. Let's look at velocity. Okay, your tornado is either going to be located somewhere in here or down here. I don't think this is it, but if that is it, that's really bad. That's a strong tornado, but if it's up here, then it has weakened out a little bit, and I think that's the more likely scenario. So that's good, but you need to be staying in shelter because this is still an active tornado on the ground, most likely. And even if there's not, there's still debris in the atmosphere. It could still even recycle again, so you need to be in shelter. Now I'm even more concerned about this storm northwest of Lyman, Nebraska, because this is still somehow only a radar-indicated tornado warning. This is definitely actively producing a strong tornado near Huntley, Colorado. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be in effect for portions of Cheyenne County, Kansas, or no, sorry, Bourbon County, Kansas, and Vernon County, Missouri. That's for 1 inch in diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Move indoors. But we're going to continue to actively cover this tornado warning because this is a very strong and, again, potentially life-threatening tornado on the ground. The National Weather Service really needs to update this. I don't know what they're waiting for. This is definitely a confirmed tornado on the ground at this point. Okay, you guys, this is really bad. And again, we also have a tornado on the ground in Washington County, Colorado, a damaging tornado on the ground. Oh wow, okay, that's a relief. Alright, major debris dropout there. There's almost no debris left in the atmosphere here. That is really unfortunate, though, that the National Weather Service did not warn that. That was so obviously a tornado on the ground. And unfortunately, a lot of people probably did not take that seriously. Okay, well, that tornado is probably lifted at this point. But we've still got our potential tornado on the ground here in Colorado. Again, this one may have lifted too. In fact, yeah, that's very likely that it lifted. Okay, so we just had both these tornadoes lift. So we're going to update the stream title here, and I do want to quickly talk about what just happened, kind of break things down and what's going to happen after this. Live tornado warning coverage. Okay. Again, you guys, this is not good what just happened. That is really bad. And there we go. We finally got a tornado report. Numerous reports of a funnel cloud with occasional ground circulation between Huntley and Lyman, separate event from earlier landspout. I don't know why we're mentioning funnel clouds and landspouts whenever we definitely had a tornado here, like a fully fledged supercellular level tornado. It's not just like this was a landspout that touched down. This was a tornado, like a tornado. That feels weird to say, a tornado. I think it was at its peak intensity, actually, when it was northwest of Lyman. That is a very concerning look at the correlation coefficient there. And again, you guys, that is, if that's a landspout, that was a strong landspout, which a landspout technically is still a tornado, but I think this was like a full-on supercellular level tornado. And before we continue here, let's check up on our storm here. Okay, I'm almost certain this has lifted now. Again, that was concerning there, though, for a few minutes. So let's kind of recap what just happened, because I know I shoved a lot of information in your guys' faces. We've only been live for 12 minutes, and we had multiple strong tornadoes touch down, and they've already lifted. So, first off, we hit the go live button with this supercell. This was a very concerning, near textbook supercell here that just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I mean, it, look at that. There was nothing there. This was about an hour ago, and then it produced a strong tornado within the next hour. So this was kind of the moment where it was pretty obvious there was a tornado on the ground northwest of Lyman. It was a strong tornado. Again, I'm guessing this is going to come in at an EF1 or potentially even an EF2 tornado. There's no point in getting too specific because obviously we're not going to know the actual rating until the National Weather Service goes out there and surveys damage. But that was definitely a tornado that was on the stronger side of things. I don't know why they never updated this warning to confirmed. I would have updated its PDS. That was a very strong tornado, and it was on the ground for quite a while there. And then we had our other tornado kind of in the middle of that one that popped up out of nowhere down here in Washington County, Colorado. This was in northwest Washington County. And this was definitely a pretty decent-sized tornado, at least for a couple of minutes. It was right about here that the warning got issued, and I kind of freaked out because that was a pretty large debris ball considering it had just touched down as far as we knew. It was only on the ground for a couple minutes, but it could have been a stronger one, I'll be honest with you guys. Then it kind of only stayed on the ground for a little bit longer, and then it's definitely lifted by now. But what just happened, if you're just now tuning in, is we just had two strong tornadoes impact portions of the Central Plains here. And unfortunately, you guys, this is only the beginning. Things are going to continue to get worse. We're going to continue to see tornadoes touch down in even more populated areas. That was a very nasty, scary few minutes there for a lot of people, most likely. And again, I don't know how this tornado warning never went to confirmed. These are still supercells here that could recycle and produce another tornado. In fact, this is looking very concerning. Again, northwest of Lyman, the rotation's kind of becoming more clear again. Let's check the CC. All right, no confirmed tornado. Possibly that's a little bit of debris, but we don't know that yet. We're going to continue to stay live here and watch this because, again, we may have another tornado trying to drop down here, as crazy as that sounds. What site do you use for this? I'm using the app Radar Omega, available on almost every platform. For $8.99. I know it's a little expensive for an App Store app, but trust me, it is the most capable, best radar app you will ever find. This is the kind of stuff, the professionals use on, your local weather coverage channel, and they pay $100,000 for equipment like this, but I'm going live covering this kind of stuff for $9. I guess it's technically a little more for me because I have a subscription. You have to have a subscription to have it on computer, but still, it's not that expensive. I highly do recommend it. It's a very capable radar. But yeah, that is Radar Omega, available on iOS and Android and computer if you pay a little bit for it. So again, what just happened, if you're not aware, everybody that's just now tuning in, we had multiple strong tornadoes touch down across portions of Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming there. That was very nasty. Very, very nasty indeed. Let's check up on our Colorado storm. Again, both of them have likely lifted by now, but they easily could recycle. And this one up here on the Nebraska-Wyoming border specifically, I think could recycle. This one was on the ground for about 10 minutes, and it was pretty strong for quite a while northwest of Lyman. The west side of Lyman just got directly impacted by a potentially strong tornado, and unfortunately the warning was never properly sent out. I mean, the tornado warning was there, but never got upgraded to observed. It was only radar indicated. We'll probably start to see damage reports spilling from that very soon here. That was a big old shock, you guys. That was very scary there. In fact, we have already got a new report on the SPC website here. Oh, wow. This was actually, the new report I saw was a land spout all the way out in Utah. Oh, and there it is. This is a brief land spout that touched down. That's a really cool icon there. This was in Salt Lake City. This is a very populated area. That's pretty bad. This touched down near Sandy around 12:07. I don't know if that's local time or not, but that was a land spout that touched down. But these two were like full-on supercellular level tornadoes. This warning has now been downgraded to radar indicated, as it should. But yeah, apparently we had a land spout in Utah. But anyway, our Colorado warning has been downgraded to radar indicated. You should still be taking cover in it, though, as that's still a very dangerous storm that could recycle. Hopefully the tornado sirens are going off in those communities that are included in that. Luckily, it's a pretty rural area there, though, overall. Alright, again, I'm pretty concerned about this, you guys. The inflow is looking pretty impressive. We've also got quite a bit of a velocity couplet there, if I've ever seen one, northwest of Lyman once again. And again, there's no sort of debris signature yet, but wow, that is a dark... This is just interference here, but that is a dark CC drop. Wow. Okay, anyway, again, we just had a couple of strong tornadoes actually impact the central United States and the western United States. We've had 3 tornadoes today. One was a landspout tornado. We've actually had multiple tornadoes here if we're counting landspouts near Torrington, but 2 actual, like supercellular actual, tornadoes that you would think of whenever you think of a tornado. All right, we had one in Washington County, Colorado. This was in central Washington County. And then we also had one on the Wyoming border near Torrington and Scottsbluff. It's a little unfortunate that I was calling this Colorado for quite a while instead of Wyoming on accident. I really thought it was on the Nebraska-Colorado border, but no. So, hopefully I still did a good job of sending out the message there. And, that's just a good example of how everybody makes mistakes, and the National Weather Service should not be totally ridiculed for not upgrading this to observed. Because, I made a mistake too while covering this, so maybe I shouldn't be pointing out all the mistakes that the National Weather Service makes, but I feel like this was a pretty dire one. And as they say, you should take shelter in any tornado warning, even if it's not radar indicate, or even if it's not observed. But not everybody listens to that saying. So the fact that that was never upgraded to confirmed is not great, obviously. Again, this tornado could be trying to touch back down again. Sorry if the audio's bad. I was a little far away from my microphone there for a second. I really need a new chair. We need a new chair for this room. This one makes all kind of noises. It's not good. It's not a gaming chair, that's for sure. Anyway. Yeah, again, that was a bad tornado there. And this may try to touch down again, if it didn't already. We're waiting for a new radar scan here. Again, if you're in this warning, you should be in your safe spot right now. This is going to come dangerously close to Torrington in Wyoming. I almost said Colorado again. And there's quite a bit of inflow there that you can see pretty clearly there on the reflectivity. Your rotation will be located somewhere in here now, most likely. Or maybe somewhere like back here. Let's see. Let's check the correlation coefficient. That's updated. Not seeing any sort of debris yet, so there's no confirmation of this tornado. This warning expires in 2 minutes, but we'll almost certainly get a new one issued here soon because this is definitely capable of producing another tornado here. Our one down in Washington County, it's still rotating a little bit. You should still be taking shelter, but it's nowhere near as concerning, obviously, as it was when it was actually producing a tornado. So again, I want to make it clear, both of these have lifted, but they could recycle, especially this one up here, approaching to the west of Henry in Wyoming along Highway 26. I keep saying Colorado, because we're also watching a storm down here in Colorado that produced a tornado. But even before that popped up, I was saying Colorado. That's what makes me feel a little goofy. This storm on the Kansas-Missouri border, we were actually watching this last stream through the Burlington, Kansas live cam here. If we pull that up, we can see that it definitely just got drenched over there in Burlington. Wow. Check this out. Look at all of that rain. That's almost flooding. And there's still rain falling there, unfortunately. We did not bring that live cam up this stream just because of how active of a situation this was. We had while that was happening, we also had a very dangerous storm up here in South Dakota. We got storms all over the place that are dangerous. We didn't have time to cover this though, unfortunately, because of that ongoing tornado situation, the tornadic situation, both of them. Huh. This is weird. We're going to have to watch that. I don't think that's debris, but it could be. We have a possible tornado on the ground. Kind of in the middle of nowhere here in southwest South Dakota. Southeast of Buffalo Gap. Again, that's not confirmed, but it's just... I don't think it's on the ground. I really don't. But it's just kind of odd how the velocity... what looks to be like a velocity couplet meets up with this correlation coefficient drop. I really don't think that's a tornado. And, I don't really want to give a stance on whether you should seek shelter or not. Especially because there's not really anybody that lives out here anyway. I mean, we can zoom into, even like street level here. And I'm not seeing anything. Okay, we did just get a new tornado warning. That is actually for a new storm here in northwest Kansas that's now tornadic. This is also producing golf ball sized hail, but This storm was tornado possible warned on a severe thunderstorm warning for quite a while, but now it has a tornado warning. This is actually very interesting. This is a storm that went over Goodland earlier. Okay, last stream, we were talking about a pocket of downburst winds that kind of popped up out of nowhere. And yeah, there you go. If you remember, we were talking about a pocket of downburst winds north of Goodland, Kansas. That kind of died out for a while, but it's returned. And now even rotating enough to produce a tornado. So, Bird City and McDonald in Kansas there, you should be taking cover immediately. You are under a tornado warning. The one up here has actually been allowed to expire, surprisingly. It's a golf ball-sized hail report up here, and yet there's no severe thunderstorm warning. That's kind of weird. I guess that was 28 minutes ago, but... So this tornado warning has been allowed to expire. You can leave shelter, but remain on alert, stay indoors. You still are under a special weather statement. Our tornado warning in Colorado has also expired, the one in Washington County. So you're good to leave shelter there, but again, just stay aware, you know. Probably stay indoors, I would recommend. And now we're worried about a new area of rotation here. All the way back into Kansas. This is for Cheyenne and Rawlins County in Kansas. Rawlins County. Then, again, there's your rotation located right in there, south of Bird City. It's not exactly the same pocket of downburst winds they were watching earlier, but it's pretty darn close to that area. I think this is actually the pocket of downburst winds. It's still going, still probably producing a few power outages, a little bit of tree damage potentially. But yeah, there's your rotation there that could produce a tornado. South of Bird City, southwest of Bird City, Kansas here. So we're going to continue to cover this here. We've got like all the storm chasers on this one little storm here. And they've been here the whole time. I mean, it's everybody, you guys. This is like the army of storm chasers out here. We've even got Connor Croft a little bit down the line here. And he's live now. He was not live last stream, but he is live now. Fortunately, I cannot bring his stream up for legal reasons, obviously, but... And Ryan Hall is live. He's been live for 22 minutes. He went live early, it looks like, to cover these tornadoes here. Alrighty. Yeah, I really thought one of those tornadoes, either one of them, it wouldn't totally have shocked me if either one of them went PDS. That one never even got upgraded to observed, though, which is, again, a little frustrating, but, you know, everybody makes mistakes, even the National Weather Service. Alright. So, again, this is the big storm that we're watching now here in northwest Kansas, near Bird City. If you're just now tuning in, we did have multiple strong tornadoes on the ground in portions of Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado just a few moments ago. Now we're watching a tornado warning storm out here in Kansas that definitely does have that real tornadic potential there. So we're going to have to watch this as it continues. This one, it's not quite as impressive to me as these other tornado warnings that we've gotten have been. You know, whenever that first warning got issued, it was literally seconds after I ended live, or minutes maybe, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go live unless that actually drops a tornado. Everybody knows they should seek shelter anyway, but then it actually did drop a tornado, and I was like, well, crap, now I got to go live only 15 minutes after I ended my last one. Not even, it was close to like 10 minutes. Okay, we now have a tornado on the ground again, guys. And, okay. So this is a weather spotters confirmed tornado. So this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. So we've got a tornado on the ground. Everybody take cover immediately in Bird City and McDonald. If you have not already, you should already be in your safe place. But if you're not, you need to get there now. We have a tornado on the ground. Again, this is a tornado on the ground here. This was reported in southern Cheyenne County, Kansas. So this is the third tornado of the stream. This is ridiculous, guys. We've been live for half an hour, and we've had 3 tornadoes already. And again, guys, it's only going to continue to get worse. It really is. This is a very high-end tornado watch that we have in effect for a reason. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a live tornado on the ground right now in southern Cheyenne County, Kansas. Now that we're kind of covering Kansas again, we might as well bring up the Burlington live cam there. It's not anywhere near the area of the tornado. It's actually on the other end of the state, but it's still got some good old storms on it with some flooding. So we're going to bring that up, and we're going to continue to watch this active, ongoing tornado here. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. It's hard to say where it's actually at. It was reported in southern Cheyenne County, is it? Yes, southern Cheyenne County. This may be it in here. It's really hard to tell, though, to be quite frank. So anywhere on this warning box should be taking cover. That's how it goes for normal tornado warnings anyway, but this one especially. This is a very dangerous supercell as well for hail and wind. It's got a severe thunderstorm warning off to the east of it for 1-inch in diameter hail and 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. The northwestern portion of Atwood is included in that, but the downtown area is not. Again, if you're just not tuning in though, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground south of Bird City, Kansas. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for Dundee and Hitchcock counties in Nebraska. It's for 1.25-inch hail and 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. Get indoors and away from windows immediately. If you are in that warning, respect the polygon. Realistically, your tornado's somewhere in here, which would actually make it a little bit further to the east than I was initially thinking. That's the term I was looking for. Again, guys, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground somewhere in there, southwest of Bird City, Kansas. Take cover immediately if you are in this tornado warning. Doesn't ever look like we had any sort of CC drop. This is a little suspicious, but I think that's just contamination for the most part. We're very close to the radar site, so that's going to happen quite a bit, you know. But overall, I don't think that was a correlation coefficient drop. But again, we still might have a tornado on the ground here. We did at least at one point, but we are now halfway to a tornado outbreak, by the way. I don't know if they count land spouts. But if so, then we're at 4 and potentially 5 with this one here in southeast Colorado. Or Wyoming. I keep saying Colorado. Dang it. It's not so much that, you know, it's annoying me that I forget what it's called. But, I mean, that is why it's annoying me. But it's just because that makes the information that I'm saying half the time inaccurate whenever I don't correct myself. And even when I do correct myself, that's still problematic if people don't catch it. Because if I say southeast Colorado, then people are going to think, a tornado just went through southeast Colorado, when in reality, that's not the case. Actually, in this instance, it happens to be the case, but that was a different tornado. Okay. Actually, that's not even in southeast Colorado. Anyway, I'll stop yapping now. Okay, we do have multiple reports of this tornado now. Media reported a tornado east of Highway 27 and B. Location estimated based on radar. It lasted about 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so this has confirmed to have lifted now. Short-lived rope tornado reported with a duration of 5 minutes. Time and location estimated via radar. Okay, so we did have multiple reports now of a tornado in Cheyenne County, Kansas, but it has now lifted. That was the third tornado of the stream. This one was much weaker than the other two that we had, though. This was a little skinny rope that lasted on the ground for just a couple minutes. If you are included in this tornado warning, you should stay in your safe place, but we're actually going to end off the live stream here because, again, while this may have seemed insane, we had, a quarter of a dozen tornadoes in a half-hour span. It's only going to get worse. So we're going to come back later. Again, we're not done. We're going to come back later whenever something more significant does happen. Again, if you're in that tornado warning, stay in shelter. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Benkelman. That's going to be in southwest Nebraska. That's for 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Get indoors away from windows. But for now, again, we're going to end off the stream here. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys all